Hey, it's Dan the Real Estate Guy coming to you from the home office. I really like today's topic because it's about learning. It's about, the process of learning a lot of material in a fairly short period of time in order to achieve a goal, and I really like that. So this is for the frequently asked questions area, and the question is, where do I start if I'm starting from zero? I realize a lot of folks, when they get the idea or they pick real estate as their wealth building vehicle, I remember the day that I picked real estate as my wealth building vehicle. You may have heard the story, but I was 24 years old and I tripped across one of those TV infomercials on a Sunday afternoon in Abilene, Texas. I'm from California, but I was flying for the Air Force, and I had a night flight the night before, and it was, got in at 3 in the morning, so I was just kind of kicking around, flipping the channels between the football games or something, and I saw one of these infomercials on real estate. I had been looking for a wealth building vehicle for a while. So I chose that vehicle, and I read books for 3 months. I ordered the stuff on the TV. I devoured that material. I read books for 3 months, and I didn't buy a property until I realized there really wasn't much left to study. So that's how I started from zero. So the question here is, how do I start from zero, or what do I do first? And I got to tell you, I guessed my way through and bought books and went to the library, went to the bookstores. What you have here is what I would have loved to have had, is over 80 training videos in one spot. You can watch them from the comfort of your computer. It's a membership. It's less than the cost of 1 or 2 books a month. I don't even know how many books I read in that 3 months, but it was a lot. So how do you start from zero in some topic and basically master it, or at least learn it well enough that you can make some real money? I think the answers are going to surprise you a little bit. Remember, one of the things I did for the Air Force, I spent 8 years in the Air Force. The last 3 years I was an instructor. And I needed to learn how to teach people how to learn, So they sent me through a 3-month school basically on teaching. And one of the things we learned back then was that everybody learns differently. Some people are very visual, some are audio, some have to touchy-feely, kinesthetic. We didn't take the time as we trained young navigators, and we didn't take the time to figure out if you're a touchy-feely person or an audio or a visual. We just hit you with everything, all right? Because we needed you to take on a lot of information in a short period of time. We called it taking a drink of water from a fire hose. It's a lot of information. You have a training in the military where you might do 8 to 10 hours a day every day for months on end to learn and master something that if you don't do it right, you can die. Okay, so it was very critical. So what I'm going to go through right now is a process that I do every time I want to learn a lot of information. So I'm going to recommend a very similar training pattern for you. And this will get you there. Because a lot of you might be looking at these 80 training videos or whatever, and some are 7 or 8 minutes long, but some are 45 minutes long. And you're looking at this as a lot of information, but you still have those dreams and those desires. So I want you to, first of all, make sure that you've got those goals set. It doesn't matter that you don't quite understand everything that's in my program yet, or all the opportunity that's in this marketplace. I want you to start by writing down what you desire to get from this marketplace. All right? What you desire to get from real estate. I want you to just write it down. All right? It's okay to change it later. This is part of the drill. I want you to have a base to start with. What do you want? Do you want one good property a year? Do you want a place that you need a place to live? You don't have one yet? Do you want to buy and sell 10 houses a year and make $200,000 in profit? You need to sit down right now and just write that out, whatever it is. Okay? Let it flow. We're going to look at it again after you devour some of this material, and you'll be able to see, are those goals realistic? Are they too low? Are the time frames right? You can look at all that. So I want you to just write those down. Next, after you've thought about your dreams and your goals and you've written them down, I want you to go through the core training videos and mix it up with some transaction videos. Now, it looks like a lot of videos, and it kind of is, and I'll be adding a couple more every week. All right? But don't be overwhelmed by that. Last I checked, there was a little over 30 hours of videos on the site. It's going to be growing all the time. By the time you look at this, maybe it's 40 hours. I don't know. But the point is, if to get through the core training, most of the growth in the future is going to be in the transaction area. The core training, there will be some additions and some clarifications. There'll be a lot of frequently asked questions, getting video shot as well. But what I want you to do is mix it up a little bit, and I want you to break it down. All right? Think about this. If there's a little over 30 hours of training that you need to get through, I want you on the first time, especially if you're starting from zero. That was the question today, is how do I start from zero? I mean, someone who doesn't know a lot about real estate. All right, what you want to do is, depending on your schedule, I want you to watch 30 minutes a day, or if you have time, do an hour. Right? If you can do 30 minutes in the morning, 30 to 45 minutes in the morning, 30 to 45 minutes in the evening, you're doing great. If you're one of those folks who's not working full-time right now and you have the time to devour this information quicker, just set yourself up a schedule. Break it down. Think about it. If you did an hour a day, every day, for 30 days, you're looking at 30 hours. Now, on the first time through, I already let it out of the I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Through, I want you to watch the videos where you can pay full attention. You don't have a TV going, you don't have music playing. Just find a quiet place and just watch a 30-minute video, or you watch several smaller videos. It's up to you. But you, for about 30 to 45 minutes a day, watch a video. If you can do an hour to an hour and a half, that's great. But I'm just saying, you can, whatever you've got time for, just go through it. And I want you on the first time through. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to be concerned if questions are popping up in your head. What you're going to do is expose yourself to all of the information one time through, relaxed. Take a month, take 2 months. If you did 30 minutes a day, it will take you 2 months. Realize that what you're doing is gaining a skill that you're going to be able to use for the rest of your life. It's not important that you get through it in 30 days, 60 days, or 90. It's important that you get through it and you learn the skills. You know, you're going to carry this with you the rest of your life. No matter what else you do to earn a living, you're going to know real estate. And you're going to know how to buy and sell it, and you're going to know how to buy and hold it, and it's going to be up to you how much of it you do. Okay? So really important that you just relax and you go through everything. Just let it flow. Don't worry about the questions. Okay? Don't take notes the first time through. Just cruise through it, let it sink in. There's homework assigned. You don't need to do the homework the first time through. It's optional. If you find something, getting out in the field and talking to some realtors, or getting out in the field and driving by a few comps, or finding a place to comp out properties online for free for yourself, feel free to do those things, but it's not important on the first time through. You are going to do the homework on the second time through. Okay? So just cruise through it. You're exposing yourself to new information. It's going to tie itself together. So that's why I say don't be concerned about questions. Just cruise through it the first time. Don't do the homework. Mix it up. Core, transaction area, and you can go down to the frequently asked questions as well. So you can mix it up between the three areas and experience as much as you can. All right, when you get through it the first time, I want you to go ahead and take another look at your goals. Are they still in line with what you had in mind? Now that you've been exposed to the material, are you happy with the goals? Remember, you can always change them, but just take a good look. All right? Second time through, the reason you're going to do it more than once is that if you check around, do some research, you'll find that most people, when they read a book or see something one time, the average retention is about 35% of the material. It's 32 to 36%, somewhere in there. If you go through something 6 times, now you're going, whoa, 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 6 times, wait a second. And I'm not necessarily saying you have to go through 6 times. I do. When I want to own information, I go through it 6 times. Because the statistics would say, when you go through something 6 times, you have a 98% retention. You're not at 35, 36, percent anymore. You're going to retain 98% of it. Have you ever watched a sitcom the second time and saw all kinds of jokes that you didn't see the first time? Or have you ever watched a movie for the second time and go, man, I didn't catch that the first time? That's really what we're talking about. But it's dramatic when you go through something 6 times. Dramatic, all right? I use it all the time. When I want to devour new information, I might be reading 10 books on one subject, but 2 or 3 books stand out as being, hey, this is the material. This will help you master that topic. I will read it 6 times. At a minimum, I'll read all my highlighted. I'll highlight when I go through the second time. And at a minimum, I'll review my highlighted material several times after I've read the book twice. All right? It really makes you own the information. It really is something. So when you have something that's selling real estate or buying and holding real estate, you can make a 6-figure amount difference in your life per year, which can really help yourself and your family. You want to own that information. So when it's in video format, you can review the different videos. You get to where you really want to start keeping properties, for example, you'll review the Magic Keepers video. When we cruise through this market and I start giving you signs of a top, signs, or not so much a top, but we're going to give you signs before the next increase, review the watching for the next boom video. You see? So you'll always have this library, this video library. As long as you're a member, you've got the video library. You'll get new information. You can review stuff over and over. So 6 times really isn't that much if you're focusing on certain areas and going through those a lot of times, 2, 3, 4 times, 6 times if you like. Later, when it becomes more important to do a different aspect of the business or a different technique kicks in, you can go back and review those videos. Maybe you only watched them once early or twice early, and now it's time to review. So you've always had this resource. All right, so it's really important. Second time through, I do want you to take notes. This way you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're writing it down. All right? Now, really important. After you take notes, as you're going through the second time, every evening, sometime before you go to sleep, and that last hour before you go to bed, just take a few minutes and just read the notes that you took today. All right, just read today's notes. That way you saw the video, you wrote notes, that evening you reread those notes, then when you went to sleep, I know a lot of you don't get this part, but the brain's going to work on it all night long. You're going to get some amazing ideas just in everyday life that you think came from nowhere, but they don't come from nowhere, they come from somewhere. So when you're taking on new information and the things are connecting, you're going to get ideas, you're going to get questions, which reminds me, when you take your notes, when there's an action step, mark it off to the side with the box that you're going to check off when you do that action step. It might be you need to contact 3 realtors and talk to them, or you need to talk to an appraiser, or you need to do whatever the action step is. It's part of the homework or something that can help you in the business. Make sure you make a note in your notes, make a box, something where you're going to do it and check it off later. Any great ideas, put stars by them. Oh, also, that second time through, if questions pop up, write those questions down. Highlight them somehow or mark them. Make sure later you get those questions answered. Alrighty? It might get answered in more of your training, but I'm just saying at some point, you're going to look back through those notes and make sure you got all the answers to the important questions. Alright? So do the homework the second time through. It's not optional the second time through. Schedule it and do it. Even if it runs into your video time, you don't have time to watch videos every day, you're going to have to block some time to do the homework, just go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. I use this process every time, and what I'm saying is success takes effort. Put in this effort, you'll enjoy the process, you'll be amazed at how you absorb all the information and learn. Alright? So do that. That answers that question. You might have been surprised by the answer, but these techniques work. I use them all the time. Remember, I only teach you stuff that I use. I don't teach you other stuff. I'll see you on the next video.